Here we go. We are coming to you from the Solvent Direct Studio at the Good Life Gang House, Las Vegas, Nevada, MJ Bizcon 2023. And I couldn't be more excited to have these guys. I've had a lot of bros at this table, but these are, I was going to say they're the first brothers. No, they're not, because the Beard Bros are here. They're also brothers. Second brothers. Marc and Craig, introduce yourselves and let's have a little chat.
All right, I am Marc Wasserman. This is my big brother, Craig, and we are known as the Pop Brothers at Law. We are California attorneys handling all areas of cannabis business licensing as well as all areas of criminal defense. But most importantly, we teach people 25 words to peacefully engage with law enforcement and then to simply shut the fuck up when cops ask questions.
It's so simple. Last night, I introduced you to a young man who got in trouble in Arizona.
Yes.
Because he was being, what did he say? Respectful,
polite, and
yeah,
and
respectful,
nice.
respectful and polite does not mean talking to the police.
Okay, explain. Tell me more.
Respectful means get out of the car if they ask you. License, insurance, and registration, you give it to them. But when they ask you, why are you going down this road, not the other? You live over here. Why are you in this area? I'm not discussing my day. Mm-hmm. It's just that simple. Mm-hmm. That's polite. People think that's rude, but that's why we actually came up with, we think, you're because what you're really saying is it's none of your fucking business.
Yeah.
But without saying that, you're saying I'm not discussing my day. Mm-hmm. That's it. They don't need to know where you are, where you're going, why you're out in the road.
Mm-hmm. And they try to trick you
into that's cooperating, and that's not what cooperation or being nice or polite mean. Is screwing yourself.
And here's one of the things that I love that you guys say. You might end up handcuffed outside your car while they're doing a search that you did not consent to, and you might end up in the pokey for a minute.
Right.
That's right.
And this all might happen. But the reason that you shut the fuck up and you do this to begin with is to protect your rights at that point.
Correct.
Talk a little bit about that.
You're preserving all your rights, remedies, and defenses for after in court. There's never a time when you should argue with the cop on the side.
You're never going to win.
The time to argue is your attorney later in court. And when you start saying things in those moments, you don't know what's incriminating or not. You don't know, you tell somebody, I was coming from over here and over there. Suddenly you fit the description of somebody who just robbed somewhere in that same area, wherever you just said you came from, versus I'm not discussing my day. And he said, it's none of their business where you're going, where you're coming from, what that smell is, how many drinks you had, what you're doing, why your eyes are red. You can go on and on with the questions that they'll ask you, and it's just none of their business. And cooperation isn't answering questions. Cooperating is when you see the lights, you pulled over. That's cooperating.
I mean, we get a lot of people who DM us and say, yeah, I used a script and they let me go with a warning. I used a script, and by the time we were done, I didn't get a ticket, right? We have some people who get the ticket, some people who don't get the ticket. The best example of someone who DM'd us and the script worked, because we make it very clear that it is not meant for you not to get arrested.
Right.
Like that's how you led into the question. And it's not meant for that. Now, it does happen that you don't get arrested because they're kind of like, fuck. Because I analogize it to the bar you put on your steering wheel locks
the club.
so you can't steal it. Like they could probably get that off a car thief, but there's 10 other ones that don't have it. So let's go to those. We're going to leave that one alone.
But let's also be real for a minute. One of the things that you guys aren't doing is telling people how to break the law and not get into trouble. That's not what you're telling people.
No, absolutely not.
You're telling people,
absolutely
people how to protect all of their rights. And one of the things you do, because I've seen you speak, one of the things you do is say, this is what we do. We put our stuff in a lockbox in the trunk. Our car doesn't smell. Our tail light is not out. Our little license plate light is not out.
The license plate
light,
we have
a front
number
license
one
plate
pullover
on the
reason.
car. Like you're trying to prevent law enforcement engagement. But
Correct.
This isn't a magic pill that I'm going to say the 25 words, which are important, and not get into trouble for rolling really heavy.
That's right.
And being dumb about it.
Preventative. It's
right?
preventative. Just like the whole little list of things that, especially people working in the cannabis space and they're actually transporting stuff and doing that walk around your car, making sure there's, no dents or your windows cracked, which could get you pulled over.
Windshield, that's
the
right.
tire tread is so low that it could get you pulled over. The lights are working, and then my brother was about to say the light that illuminates the rear license plate. That's the biggest one across the country. And a lot of people end up saying it was working.
Yeah.
You know, and they're gonna give whatever reason they want to make that initial pullover. So, but drive safely.
I mean, the nice thing is we get DMs from all over the place. We get a lot of DMs from law enforcement thanking us.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Because we make it very clear we are not anti-law enforcement. We're not you know what? We're not that. We're
anti-bad
we are.
cops.
We're F the bad ones.
We're anti-bad cops.
There's plenty of good law enforcement.
Could you imagine though? Think about the cannabis industry. Pass me down that pre-roll case that you got right there, because I want to talk about that for a second. If I were to go in and buy a STFU pre-roll at one of the places where they're available in California, and I love it, and then I go in and I buy another pre-roll and I don't like it, am I going to say all cannabis sucks?
Right.
Like, we don't do in other places what we do with law enforcement. There's a shitty operator that makes shitty pre-rolls. Okay, I'm not going to buy them anymore, but I still love cannabis.
Right.
I still love to do it. I'm going to find something else. So, I mean, I feel like it's important, and good cops want people who make engagement easy.
I mean, we get
it
all the time from law enforcement where they're like, "Thank you, it makes my job easier. I can just give you that ticket and be done." And that's what they want to do, you know. And then you have the ones who just they're looking. And the problem is this, and we could do a whole hour on this topic of law enforcement and my opinion on. They have to change the culture. Like, they have to get rid of all officers because they've been trained, ingrained. They're not community policing. They're not your blinker's off, your left front blinker, and the guy's coming at you and you make a left, and that guy doesn't see your blinker. That could be a bad accident. So the cop pulls you over. Hey, your blinker's out. You know what? Here's a fix it. Go get it fixed because it's safety. And you, oh, thank you, officer.
Here's a bulb.
Thank you for seeing that because I didn't know. Right. Instead, they use that blinker to try to just anything to get into your car. Anything to get into your car.
They're looking for a reason to pull you over.
And they're trained, though. That's how they're trained, most of them. And even they can still be trained that way and be good law enforcement and go by the, and let you exercise your rights and they're okay with it. But that's how they're trained. They have to have it's got to be a new whole
So what we
version.
can do, what we need to do is just be knowledgeable. I've said this a lot of times. I feel like this should be a class in high school, like civics and then some.
It's being taught in what Michigan. We ran into some kids at here last night who were in law school in Michigan.
The Upper Peninsula of Michigan. Yeah, those kids right here.
They were telling us that their professor in their business law class and in their criminal law class shows our videos and teaches them the script and teaches them what we're doing in on the business side of things, marketing and such. But yeah, we're gonna set up a Zoom with that class. I got to get in touch with this professor, but it's happening.
You met them at the party. You met them at the party last night. Did you have a good time at the party?
Yes, absolutely.
Yes,
yeah?
It was
absolutely.
fun.
Good. That makes me happy.
I love Alaska.
Oh, there was okay. We had a big posse from Alaska here. I don't know where they got all those dabs. Probably the Nevada regulated market, but it was pretty lit. It was lit. Alaska rolled in hot. I wonder if I know the script well enough for you to give me a try. I have won the Friday script challenge at one point.
It doesn't matter how well you know it.
Okay. Oh,
well,
wow.
This is the script challenge.
Okay, I'm ready.
That we actually, the script challenge was born out of the pandemic, and we were doing it online and all that stuff, and then we started doing it on stage at seminars, and then we had to take it off of all of our social media because you can't cuss and smoke and get your message out there, but it's coming back on our platform.
Have you tried it on LinkedIn? Oh, tell me about Everscore for a second.
Well, Everscore.
How can they follow you on Instagram? That's going to be the important thing.
This is how to get to our Everscore page. Is follow us on Instagram. It's Pop Brothers at Law. It's POT_brothers_at_law. All those underscores are there because my brother didn't know how to run social media in the very beginning, but that's
I didn't know a space put an underscore. I just was putting POT space brother.
I'm going to say something I said to you last night. Okay, boomer.
I'm proud of it.
Okay, so follow the Pop Brothers at Law. You'll get to Everscore.
Other than my brother, I've been smoking longer than everybody who's alive.
That's right. We love you.
So go to our Instagram. we got a link in the bio. You click that, and it'll bring you to
Beautiful.
the Everscore and everything else we have. We have the script stickers, the lock boxes,
I
the
love
pre-rolls in California, and but everything else, the stickers and the boxes and the shirts and STFU available
And
worldwide.
Remember that other little thing you do, legal services in California.
We do legal
Just a little bit of
services,
that.
yes. And if you do need to reach us, it's 855-WAS-LAW. And we handle all of California, all criminal defense matters.
Doesn't matter what it is.
My brother handles all the business aspect in terms of
Mergers,
licensing, mergers, acquisitions,
regulatory
everything.
compliance,
everything
contracts,
with the
whatever
contracts and all
business
that stuff.
there is.
So as we say, his office is to the left, mine's to the right. You don't want to come to my office.
No.
If you're coming to me,
Client comes in, yeah. You don't want to go to his office. It's like going to the principal almost.
Well, and that's the great thing about this cannabis space is there are clients go into his office one day and they're running their business. Well, then another day they have to come
Well,
back.
that was more in the past though. That was more in the past.
That's very true.
Because we
Very
set them up
true.
as a collective in the old days, and it was very inexpensive to do that, and we were able to help people get quasi legal as it was before Prop 64. It was quasi legal, and so they'd come in, get set up business wise, and then if something went wrong, then they'd have to go to his office because he did the criminal law.
and then we would defend
But now
them.
it's a little now that doesn't happen so much now because once you get licensed, you're putting so much time, money, effort that I mean
Put
you
it on
got to
the line.
have a lot of money to not care about losing your license.
You bet. Yeah, it's a lot. I think I'm ready.
You ready?
I think I'm
You
ready.
are, okay, are you ready for the script challenge?
I believe I am.
Okay. What's your name and where are you from?
My name's Catherine Sidman. I'm from Lewiston, California.
Okay, and are you ready for the script challenge?
I'm ready.
Okay. I'm the cop. I pull you over and I say, what's this smell in your car?
Oh, I do not wish to discuss my day.
I don't. No, that's wrong.
That's wrong. Well, were you supposed to start with the smell?
You lose.
No.
I lose.
You
I
lose.
lost.
You lose.
Shit.
As
You know what?
I,
we should have kept going though. Keep going. Let's see what else is like. Because if you forget it, but you remember what you do, it's not all.
it's
bad.
not the end of the world. Well,
Okay.
are we playing the script challenge or are we playing real life? What are we doing?
I don't know. We could do the script challenge. I've
No,
already
if we're
failed one. Let's do the one I'm most likely to pass. How about that? How about that?
Well, no, we want to educate.
Okay.
You know, and like
We
I
wanna
said, we're
educate.
going to see if because you have the right. Let's see if you have the ability to do this.
Oh, wow. Great. I have another opportunity to fail. Let's
Okay.
go. I'm ready.
We'll
Is it written on there?
Yes,
It's written on there.
you can read it too.
Oh, why did you pull me over? I lost. Why did you pull me over? I get so aggressive. I'm so
don't you
sorry.
have the sticker?
I do have the
on
sticker.
your car?
That's why I have it.
That's why she
Okay,
doesn't
but
need
here's
to
the
memorize
thing.
it because you
Can I
just
say
look up and
something
you
though?
see it.
I did win the sticker challenge one time. I do know this. We've done this together
We
before.
have.
We did it together outside.
So you're getting
But
nervous.
I'm nervous right now. That's how it feels
just
when
think
you
of-
get
Yes,
pulled
it
over.
does.
It does.
That's how it feels.
yes.
So that's
And
why
that's
you
the
have one of
point.
these
It's very
stickers on your
difficult.
windshield.
I did it
so
before.
I went straight to step 2 in my defense. There was only one that I missed. So let's do it again.
Okay,
Do it
so
again.
now I'm the cop. I pull you over.
Yes.
And I say, where are you going in such a hurry?
Why did you pull me over
Why are
today?
you speeding? Why are you speeding?
Why did you pull me over today?
You're speeding. Didn't you hear me? You're going too fast. Why are you going so fast?
I don't wish to discuss my day.
I didn't ask about your day. I asked why you're going fast. Why are you going fast?
Am I being detained or am I free to go?
Well, with that attitude, you know what? I'm detaining you unless you tell me where you were going.
I'd like to invoke the 5th.
Well, I don't care what you'd like to do. You're going to talk to me, right? You're going to tell me just tell me where you were going. Where were you going? Why were you in such a rush? Somebody sick?
She is shutting the fuck up.
That's it.
That's the hardest
That's
part,
it.
you guys. I can't do
That's
it. I can
it.
hardly do it.
Now we will say
That's
that
why I tease. You have
we-
the right, but do you have the ability?
We have added.
Yes.
When you do get a cop who's doing this and badgering you, and
It actually
trying to-
came from a comment. We actually read and engage with our followers, and
Yes, we do.
we read the comments. And one of them was, "What if after you invoke the 5th and you shut the fuck up, they keep talking to you and keep badgering you and keep questioning you, and you say something? What happens? You've waived your right to all that shit you just invoked." How to get them to stop, or how to make it so if they keep doing it, we can get it kicked out, is by saying, no more questions until I have a lawyer. Once you're detained,
I want my
you
lawyer.
are entitled to a lawyer for questioning. And then if they keep badgering you and you break, nothing you say is
Because you asked for an
going to
attorney.
really be used. So we've added that. Ask for the attorney if they keep hammering you.
But you got through that, so you won the script challenge.
oh.
I think I already gave you your prizes.
I already have all my
We
prizes.
gave you the lock boxes, the new lock boxes.
I did. I should have it sitting right here, but I'm just not quite that
okay.
clever.
Hey, we
It's
want to
okay.
thank Good Life Gang too. They've
Yes.
been great hosts. This has been an awesome.
Wonderful.
It was an awesome party last night too. It was insane.
Good. That makes me so happy. That makes me so happy.
I'll tell you this. You know, you go to all these conventions across the country and
Been to a few.
you try to make connections on these show floors, and rarely does it happen, I think, that you make a real good connection on the show floor. You might get good information and make some.
Well, as far as networking goes, you might find a booth and that's different. We're talking about like networking.
But coming to a party like this, a function like this, everything that you guys are doing, the deep, real connections can be made, and there's a lot of good people in this industry that are looking for other good people, and you provided that, and we're very grateful for that. Thank you.
You make my day. I want to thank you both, Craig and Marc, for being here. Pot Brothers at Law. Check them out. Get educated. Get a script sticker. And more than anything, shut the fuck up.
When cops ask questions.
You guys are the best.
Education, medication, all at its finest. Thanks for the Good Life Game.